Yeah. All right. So let's talk about that USC Gonzaga matchup, because I actually think that this might be the best chance for anybody to pick off Gonzaga in this tournament, specifically because of the way that USC's zone can play. So basically, like what they do is not all that dissimilar from what Syracuse does defensively. It's a little bit different because they don't bring the wings of their zone as high, and they don't provide quite as much ball pressure with the top two guys. But like they got 7'1" Evan Mobley in the middle, and they basically go like 6'10", 6'8", 6'6", 6'6". They got size everywhere.
Everywhere, bro. Everywhere.
Everywhere. And it makes it very difficult to play against because Evan Mobley is he's so good. Like, so the thing about him is, like, his block shot numbers don't end up being crazy because what he does so well is position himself to dissuade you from actually taking the shot because you are aware of his presence. Like, how many guys can have that kind of impact, right? That make you not want to shoot.
There's a handful, but not like he really discourages people from shooting the basketball and around him, like in his presence. Like they're looking around the pass, like they get in the paint where you're supposed to get the ball at the foul line in that area, and they're looking to get the ball at their hands because they don't want to get the shit pinned. So like, he's very he's very great defensively. I feel like, especially in that 2-3. Hopefully they play it the entire game, because if they don't, I don't foresee them beating Gonzaga.
I mean, they have to play it.
They have to play it. Like, they have to, because here's why I think
it's going to be so successful, and I want your take on this. So what I think Gonzaga is going to try to do is they're going to run either Nembhard or Joel Ayayi into the high post, whoever they believe is the better passer. So it'll probably be Ayayi, because I think that Few thinks that he is a better passer, better rebounder, and Nembhard is a better shooter. So what they're going to do is try to run them into the high post, and they're going to force Evan Mobley to come out away from the rim, and they're going to try to get those little dump downs, little high-low passes to Drew Timme and have him finish around the basket. My concern is that Mobley's length is going to just really, really mess with Timme inside. And if he messes with Timme inside, then I think that takes away so much of what Gonzaga wants to be able to do offensively. Because like their offense is kind of built around the fact that you have to guard them on the perimeter, and it forces you to basically play Timme one-on-one. Because you do not want to get in a situation where you have to rotate and close out on the guys. There are too many good passers, too many good shooters, too many guys are going to beat you off the dribble and get a layup out of nothing. So if you can guard Timme one-on-one inside, then all of a sudden that really messes up everything that they want to be able to do offensively. You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely hear you.
So how do you attack? If you're Mark Few, how do you attack that? How do you go at that 2-3?
Similar to what I was talking about before with Syracuse. If I were them, I would have I'd put Nembhard in the middle. I'd put Nembhard at the foul line in that area, because he can make that foul line jump shot. He can also pass the ball very well. And, Mobley would have to step up and guard him. If you put him in that area and you were to put Drew Timme left side block or something like that, or right side block, whatever, and then wherever side Drew Timme's on, you put Corey Kispert on the same side corner. When Mobley steps up, that wingman's going to have to guard Drew Timme or pick Corey Kispert. So it's like you're giving up either the three to the best shooter, or you're giving up a layup to like friggin' Drew Timme. Like you have to pick. And I feel like Nembhard's a good decision maker, and he's a good enough decision maker to either realize, all right, cool, I can't get it to Timme. They're going to let me shoot. I'm going to shoot this jump shot, or find Drew Timme. Or if I see that guy in the backside, the back wing creeping into Timme, to find Corey Kispert for shots. Like, I feel like if you overload one of those back wings, when I say overload, just put one in the corner and one in the block, same side, whoever you want to get the ball, right? You can cause some issues with a 2-3 zone. Like, it's so easy to beat 2-3s, in my opinion, because you don't have to settle for just jump shots and be stagnant and stand around. You just have to have a deliberate attack. And then if they don't get out of it, you'll get whatever shots you get. I mean, till they get out of it. Like, because they get out of it from time to time. They're not Syracuse. They're not going to sit in it all game. if you beat it enough, they'll get out of it. It's just a matter of.
I'll tell you what, that's a bad thing for USC if they got to get out of that zone.
Yeah, because if they get out of the zone, it's a done deal. Like it's nothing they can do.
If they got to get out of the zone, they can't play Isaiah Mobley.
No, they got to take him out, and then they got to match him up. They got to match him up with Drew, because otherwise, it's going to be an issue. Now, you could also say that. I mean, the zone is literally everything for them. I can't even say like, yeah, I was going to make a counter to that, but it's no counter. Like they got to stay in the zone because they give up too much. Having Evan Mobley running around with Corey Kispert, or even worse, Isaiah running around with Kispert, like it does nothing for them. Like they got to stay in the zone and then try to high low and take advantage of their size on the other end on offense. So, like they got to stay in the zone.
Yeah, I think they have to stay in the zone. And if it all goes according to plan, what that means is that if they can force Gonzaga to have to play Anton Watson at the 4. If they can force Gonzaga to have to go big, that might end up being what decides this game. Who is forced to change what they want to do, right? Does Gonzaga have to go big and put Watson at the 4 and take one of their 4 guards off the floor? If they do, that is an incredible advantage for USC, because I don't know how you break down that zone with Watson and Timmy on the floor together. Maybe if you put Timmy in the high post.
No, because then that turns into one of those scenarios. Exactly. Like you put Timmy in the high post and
he can shoot that thing. He can
shoot. He can shoot it enough. It's not even that. But then, like, if it doesn't go in a couple times, what do you expect him to do now? Like, because the decision making process gets taken away. Like, I'm not saying he's not a good passer, but I don't think he's not Nembhard passing the basketball, or he's not Suggs passing the basketball or anything like that. So if he doesn't make a jump shot, then we're gonna get stagnant in the middle of the court to pass out or bury his head and try to go in. Up against him, and that's not going to work in there. I feel like that's not going to work unless he just absolutely thugs Mobley. That's not going to be the case. I don't think that's going to happen. So I still think Gonzaga wins the game. I think Few's seen enough 2-3s in his damn life to know like how to break him and who to put there. So I don't foresee that stopping them. But if they can't get them out of that zone, it's going to be a problem.
I think they're going to get a lot of open looks, because the problem is, so generally speaking, what part of the reason you want to play a zone is that there are at the college level, you don't always have great passers everywhere on the floor, right? A lot of times you'll have like one or two guys that are great passers, a couple other guys that can make the right reads, but you don't generally run into a situation where you have 4 or 5 guys like Gonzaga does that are all very, very high-level passers. I mean, look, Jalen Suggs, 6'4", great passer. Andrew Nembhard, 6'4", great passer. Joel Ayayi, 6'5", great passer. Drew Timme, 6'10". He can make some bad decisions, but he does have –
solid.
Yeah, and he can see those passes. He can make those passes. Corey Kispert,
he's not 4 assists today.
Yeah, he's not the best, but like he's a very capable passer, especially when he's the guy that you're going to basically be asking to finish off these plays. Like he's not the guy you need passing. He's the guy you need standing 23 feet away from the basket, drilling the open jumpers that he's going to get when you got a 6'10" guy contesting you. So they're going to get a ton of open looks. It may simply come down to, like, I feel like I'm saying this again. It may come down to whether or not UCLA can make tough jumpers off the dribble. I think this game's going to come down to whether or not Gonzaga can make the open looks that they get from 3 against that zone. Is that fair?
Yes, that's definitely fair. I'm looking at this guy. I already took out my 401k out, his 401k out on USC.
Yeah, I took USC plus 9.5 too. Part of the reason why, and here's a big reason why, I do think that that Mobley's going to be able to kind of take away what Timmy does, and I think that zone is going to slow down what Gonzaga wants to do offensively. So, yeah.
Man, at this point, anything is definitely possible. So I'm not going to even make it seem like your idea isn't fathomable. So like it's not real or something like that. So it can definitely happen. These guys are here. All these teams are very talented, very well coached, and we just watched USC just slap Oregon,
and you know what's going to end up happening? Like we're coming up with all these theories about how USC is going to be able to compete with Gonzaga. And what they're going to do is they're going to show us that they have another gear. We're finally going to see that next gear from Gonzaga, which we just
I've
haven't seen yet to this point. We're finally going to end up seeing it when they go play against.
We've seen them turn up a little bit. It just hasn't been recently. I
not
mean,
yet in the tournament. Not yet. Like that's the thing. Like
not in the tournament. I mean, yeah, they've been chilling. They've been walking around right now.